Hey, my name is Deborah Winters. Welcome to my YouTube channel, a place where you will hear conversations with ordinary people telling their extraordinary stories. Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, Their Stories. My guest today is Lisa Torres.
Yes.
Did I say that right?
Yes.
Before we start with our conversation, I just want to remind you to please like the video, share, and subscribe if you want to be notified when we post new stories. And the new posts are typically come out every Monday. So we're just going to jump right in. So Lisa and I go to the same church, Family Worship Center. And I didn't know that we all have a story, but she's got a great, they're all great stories. I met you at Fred's restaurant.
Yes.
Through our mutual friend, Tammy,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And so didn't know at the time, but Lisa was coming to church, and I didn't know that she had been there forever, that she grew up in Family Worship Center. I just learned that. So I don't know a lot about your story. You just told me a little bit, and I said, stop. We're going to capture it today. So just a little bit, I'm just going to give a little bit of information. So you were in jail multiple times.
Yes.
Multiple times. And then you got saved in jail, and you went to college, and it's a great story, a story of hope. So talk a little bit about growing up in Family Worship Center. So at what point did you start going with your parents to Family Worship Center?
I started going to Family Worship Center when I was 5, 1989.
Okay.
My grandmother actually has a picture of Pastor Reggie dedicating my little sister when
Aww,
she was born. Yeah.
Sweet.
All of us stayed on the stage with him. And I was raised up in Family Worship Center, went to Kids Zone, Miss B was my teacher.
Okay.
And I was about around 13, and my mom kind of chose a different path.
Okay.
And my parents split up.
Okay.
And everything just went downhill from there. My mom was addicted to drugs.
Okay.
And was, we were constantly fighting.
So were you in the home with her when your parents separated? Did you live with your mom? Okay.
I lived with my mom, and I was not, how do I put this? I was really angry at God, because, when you're raised up in the church and you're taught that God loves you and he protects you and he's for you.
Yes.
And then when you're, a preteen and your whole world crashes down and everything that you've learned and you witness, from your parents is pretty hypocritical, you start to doubt.
Where's God?
Yeah.
In the middle of this.
Right.
I thought you loved me, God.
Yes. So then I thought, well, this must not really be true. And I got really mad, and I just totally wanted to do everything that I was always taught not to. I was like on this mission to just
to
rebel.
Do it all, huh?
Yes. And I got arrested for the first time when I was 14.
Oh, wow. Okay.
For stealing, and I was in and out of juvenile detention. I dropped out of high school when I was 16, and I got sent to a juvenile program. I got my GED there. I did really well there. I was there for about 6 or 7 months, and I came home as an adult and tried for about, I'd say, maybe a week to do the right thing. Still not going to God, but trying to, get a job and things like that. And
so now when you went home, was that to your mom's?
Yes.
Now, was she still involved in drugs?
Yes.
So you were back in that environment?
Yes.
And trying to be straight.
Right.
Okay.
And
that would be hard.
Yes. Well, it didn't last long. Me trying to be straight didn't last long at all. And you kind of, people try to say that you're a product of your environment, and birds of a feather flock together. But in a sense, that's true. You tend to gravitate towards people who are broken like you are. And that's what I did. So I just ran the streets with my friends and just
back in the same cycle, drugs.
Over and over again. Yeah, I tried meth for the first time when I was 18.
Oh, so what was it at the age of 6? Well, 14, were you in drugs? You were just stealing then.
I was stealing.
So when did you cross over and dabble into drugs?
Well, I was doing drugs, but not the hard stuff. Like we would, get drunk and we would smoke weed and, stuff like that. And, then I started taking ecstasy a lot and cocaine.
Now, how old were you when you were doing
About 16.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, it was pretty serious. Like I was in the street. I wasn't home. I would either run away or get kicked out. And so I was staying with friends or wherever I could, really. And just living a life of crime. And when I was 18, I got arrested for robbing somebody's house.
You broke into someone's house?
Oh, yeah.
By yourself?
Oh, no. I was with people. And, it was pretty bad.
Wow.
And I went to county jail for about 7.5 months. And
was that scary? Or were you just kind of dead to that?
I was dead to that.
Yeah.
Completely numb.
You didn't care?
Did not care.
Okay.
Did not care.
So I got to go to jail? Okay, I'll go to jail.
Yeah.
Okay.
Didn't bother me at all.
Now, did your friends go to jail with you?
Yes.
So you had friends in the...
Oh, yeah.
Okay, in the system with you.
Yes. And, the thing about drug addiction, though, is nobody wakes up one day and says,
I want to do drugs.
I'm going to be a meth addict today.
Or I want to go to jail.
Right.
No one does that. Right.
But when you're high, it numbs the pain. You don't feel anything. And that's why people continue to do it. They don't want to feel
anything.
The despair, the depression, and everything that they're going through. So, in jail, 18 years old, did my 7.5 months. And the whole time that I was in jail, in and out of jail, I never went to any of the church services or anything like that. I was just like totally against it because I knew when I came out that I wasn't going to be that person. I wasn't going to go to church. So I wasn't going to fake it while I was in there and try to get, oh God, I'll do good this time. Just let me out. I was never into that,
Now, did they have the faith-based jail at that time when you were there?
Yes.
Okay.
And I didn't go, but I would always go to trustee dorm while I was in there.
Now, what is that?
That's where you work, like you work in the kitchen, and I would wash the police cars and stuff like that, and they would give me time off. Yeah.
I had no idea. It's called trustee
dorm.
Trustee dorm. Okay.
And you get 5 days off.
And you earn credits, or you earn things for good behavior?
Well, yes. You're basically working for them to get an extra 5 days off a month out of your sentence.
Oh, it shortens your time there. Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I came back out of there. Met my children's father, my oldest two, their father. I had my 2 kids, Noelle and Ricky. They're 16 and 15 now.
Okay. Now, did you marry this guy?
We were not married.
Okay.
But we were together for about 5 years.
Oh, okay.
And it was a tumultuous relationship.
Yeah.
And things went south there. And
so were you guys doing drugs together?
No.
So you were straight?
I was straight for about 7 years. I didn't get in trouble.
Wow.
Didn't do drugs. But when the relationship ended, it ended pretty sour. How do I say this? He was sleeping with my best friend and everything like that, so I just kind of went off the deep end and started doing drugs again. And it never really got, for a span of, I want to say maybe like 2 or 3 years, I was just in and out of jail and on drugs. Oh yeah.
So what about the kids? Because you had 2 kids. So
dragging them along.
Really?
Dragging them along.
So you were exposing them to this lifestyle, drugs and the partying and.
Yes. And then my mom got pregnant 9 months before I did with my first one. So let me back up. I went too far.
Oh, wow.
I went too far.
Okay.
So my mom got pregnant with my little sister. And
we
were pregnant about the same time.
Oh, wow.
My mom was 40.
Oh, wow. Okay. And was she still doing drugs?
No, she got clean. She got clean when she got pregnant. And She's been clean ever since.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my mom comes to church.
Did she come to church?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she's totally turned her life around. And,
Oh, that is so awesome.
Yeah, God has been restoring our relationship.
Yes.
And yeah.
Oh, good.
So
you were pregnant at the same time?
yes. Mm-hmm.
With which child? For you?
My oldest one.
Okay.
My daughter. And so my mom got clean and had my little sister, and then I had the kids, and we did well for a while. And then when me and my children's father split up, and I started doing drugs again, my mom was like, okay, this has got to stop. I would leave the kids with my mom, or I would either take them with me, when we would start fighting, because my mom would know that something was up with me, and I would deny it and say, no, you can't have my kids. And so they, DCF got called on me.
Okay.
And they came and took my kids from me. And I went to jail.
Again.
So
what do you think? This is like 5 or 6 times you...
Oh, man. As an adult, I think it's been like 6 times.
Okay.
As a juvenile, I don't even know.
So, there's more than...
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
In and out, in and out, in and out. Yeah.
Okay. So... how old were the kids then when you went this last time?
They were 4 and 5.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. And
Sweet
then,
babies.
so their father is a crane operator, and he works out of state a lot. So at the time that this happened, he was working in Texas. So when DCF came and took my kids from me, he came down here to get them, and they went to Texas for a year. So when I came out of jail, they were gone.
They were gone.
Mm-hmm. And I tried.
How long were you in jail again? That time?
That time, I was in there for 2 weeks.
Oh, okay. Not long.
Not long. No, my mom came and bonded me out, and I got out, and
no kids. Kids
no
were
kids,
gone.
Nothing. Everything was bad. I was living at my grandma's house on probation, and I just couldn't do it. The despair was just overwhelming. I when separated from the kids, it just was too much for me. So I went right back to the drugs.
Okay. Wow. Oh.
Right back to the drugs.
Back. And you knew where that was going to land you. You knew eventually you would go back to jail, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
So I violated probation because I left grandma's house.
So the part of the probation was you had to live there. You had. And so were you under house arrest, or could you come and go?
No, I could come and go.
Okay.
I had a curfew.
Okay. So you broke your curfew.
Oh yeah. I didn't even pay no attention to that.
That wasn't okay.
I tried to get a job, but when you have that kind of record and you don't have any skills and not even anything to say like, hey, pick me, hire me.
Yes.
Nobody gives you a chance.
I won't steal. I won't do drugs.
Right. So yeah, I couldn't find a job, and it was just, I was weak.
There was just no hope.
There was no hope at all. So I started doing drugs again. I left grandma's house, and I was gone for probably about 2 months, and the cops found me at a friend's house and took me to jail. Now that's the last time I went to jail.
Whew, and that was age 8. Is that 18? You were 18?
No. This was 2011.
Well, how old were you?
So
I don't even know how old you are now. Not that it's an issue.
27. I was 27. 28.
So you started going to jail when you were 14, all the way up to when you were 27, just in and out.
Like a revolving door.
They knew you on a first name basis there, didn't they?
Oh, yes, definitely. Yes, I had, I had a bond with the people that worked there because I was there so much, so they knew me, and they would always make jokes. Like I remember the last time I was in there, when I was leaving, they call and they walk you down, and he was like, the CEO that worked there, he was like, well, I'll see you again, Bozeman. That was my name at the time.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, no, I don't think I'll be back here again. And I didn't go back. But the last time what changed it for me was I had called my mom while I was in there. The same day that they were pulling me to trustee dorm, which is where I always went because I wanted my time off.
Right.
my mom was like, I have a friend that just came out of there that went to faith-based dorm. I really think that you should give it a shot. And I was like, I don't know about that. And I was just hesitant because I didn't want to go there. Like, I guess I didn't want to confront, how do I say this? I didn't want to confront God. I didn't want that.
You didn't want a relationship with him.
No, I wasn't seeking that at all. But something told me, just try it. If you don't like it, you can request to, walk out of there.
Okay.
So that's what I did. I went in to faith-based, and I have not been back to jail since then. I was there for 75 days. And they had ministers that would come to us every single day.
Is that where you met Theresa?
Yes.
Oh, if you guys have been watching my channel, my very first conversation was with Theresa Kemp, and she has a great story. You had to hear her story. So Theresa actually came out of prison and went back to prison to minister to the inmates, and so you met her there.
Yes.
In the faith-based dorm. Was it a service? You went to a service and she was there?
Well, we never left the dorm, so they would come and talk to us inside of the dorm.
Okay.
At different times.
Into your cell? I thought they had a meeting room where they met.
We would all go out into the day room.
Common area. Okay.
Common area, and we would sit around, and then they would come in, and they would have like a little boom box, and they would play their worship music, and they would, minister to us.
How amazing. I just have to stop for a moment. How amazing that Theresa, being an she doesn't like to use that word. She was there, then came back to minister, and here you are, a fruit of her labors. I mean, that is just, and doing so well, because you haven't heard the end of the story. I mean, this is how like God to do this.
Oh,
okay.
Yes.
So anyway, so you were there, and you were in the common area,
And the first time I really felt the Holy Spirit while I was in there, everybody was worshiping, and my bunkie that I was with, that I had made like a connection with, she started praying in tongues.
Really?
And
so she was a Christian?
Yes. Well, she was coming from the same place I was.
Okay.
So maybe a backslider.
Yeah. But she had the knowledge of.
Oh, yeah.
So she had been exposed to church and.
Yes.
So had you felt the presence of God before? I mean, but you have to go back to pre-14 when you were 9, when you were in Family Worship Center. Had you felt the presence of God, so you knew what that felt like?
Yes. The first time I knew, without a doubt, that praying in tongues was real was because I saw my dad do it.
Oh, this is when you were a family unit.
Yes.
Okay.
I remember in the Joy Center where we used to have services.
Yeah.
I remember I was sitting beside him and looking up at him, and he was weeping and praying in tongues. And I knew that if my dad did that it was legit,
real.
because my dad does not fake stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that was the first time. That was the first time that it was evident to me that that was truth, and it was real. So when I was in that jail cell and my friend started doing that, and then I kind of witnessed it go around the room. Yes.
Oh.
And when it came to me, you try to hold it back, you try to hold it in because you don't want to look weird and everything like that. But I could not stop laughing.
Really?
I just felt it in my belly, and I could not stop laughing, and I was weeping, and it was like this joy. I'm sorry.
No, I'm okay. I have Kleenex because I come prepared for these, because there's a lot of crying that typically goes on. So here's you the Kleenex, and here's the Kleenex, and this is okay.
So I just felt this joy that I hadn't felt before in this place where people usually don't feel that. And I had lost everything, and I knew in that moment that it was legit. Like, he was with me.
Wow.
And so I surrendered. I said, God, I can't live like this anymore. I want my babies back. And I'm just going to go all in. What I've been doing isn't working.
So why not try God, right?
Right. So I was supposed to go to prison that time I was in there. They were.
This is going to be serious then. Prison is serious. And was that Tampa? Where was that?
No, Polk County. Polk County Jail.
No, but where was prison?
Prison is it's all over Florida.
Okay.
I think the first place you usually go to is Orlando.
Okay.
Whew. So, and I remember looking out that window. I think about this all the time. They have like this little 6-inch window. It's probably about this high.
Is it up high?
It's up high.
Yeah.
And it's like a long rectangle. And when you get in a certain spot, you can see a piece of the sky, and you can see the grass. And the building across from you, but that's it. And I would sit on this little metal desk that they had, so I would get to where I could see the sky. And I would talk to God. And I asked myself, where are you going to be in 10 years from now?
Right.
If you
What
keep
does
doing
your
this,
future look like? Yes.
yeah, where are you going to be? And to where I am today, which has been about 10, 11 years.
Which is so wonderful. We are a mess. So, okay.
If you would have told me then, I would have never believed it.
Yeah.
So
He's so faithful.
He is so faithful.
So faithful.
And merciful.
Yeah.
Through all of that, he never stopped pursuing me. Just relentless. Constantly coming after me. And I look back now and I see all the times that he's protected me. Because I should be dead.
Yes.
Everything that I've put myself, the situations I put myself in,
Yes.
the things that I've done, I should be dead. And I'm not. And he, so merciful to me. He wanted me that bad, because I could have died then and been rotting in hell, you know?
Yes.
But
he comes after the one.
he leaves the 99.
To look for Lisa. And to look for me, Deborah.
Yeah.
Because we're all equally important. There's no one that he loves more.
Right. It's incredible.
Right? I know. How is that? How does he do that? Because he's omnipresent. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I came home to Mama's house that time, and the last time, and haven't been back. Not going back. And it was a long.
So you came out, were you still 27? I'm trying to get a, okay.
About 27, 28. And I had dug myself a hole. It took years to come out of.
Yeah.
Because I had to go through the system and all these parenting plans and everything to get my kids back.
Did you have communication with them? Were you allowed to talk to them?
Yes. He came back down from Texas when I got out the last time.
He moved or just visited with the kids?
He lived here, but he would work and they would stay in hotels, when they were away.
So he had full responsibility of the kids. So was he living a straight life?
He was living a straight life for the most part. I mean, he wasn't.
They weren't
living
exposed
for God
to anything.
No.
Okay, bad. Okay.
But
So he came. Sorry for interrupting.
No.
I have so many questions.
No, it's good.
I will admit that I do.
No, that's good. And he came back, and he was merciful to me, even through all of it. He allowed me to see the children, even when I wasn't really supposed to by DCF.
Really?
Guidelines. Oh yeah.
Oh, he had mercy. That's so amazing.
Never put me on child support.
Never.
No, never. Yep. It was just God in everything. It's just crazy looking back now. I see him in all of it.
So we're going to stop and finish this part, and there's too much to tell, and we're almost at 30 minutes.
Oh, okay.
We all want to hear the good news that comes out of this. So we're going to stop, and please come back next week to hear about college and new wonderful job. So come back. Bless you guys, and just remember that if he can do this for Lisa,
he
can do it for you. And there is hope in the process. And we're just going to pray. I can pray. Are you good to pray, or would you like for me to pray?
I would like for you to pray.
Okay. I just had not asked her beforehand. So, Father God, we just thank you for Lisa. Thank you for her life. And we know that there's those that are watching that could be in a bad place. And we know that God is here for you. He's ever mindful of you. So right now, it's so easy to bring him, accept him into your heart. It's simple. You just say, Dear God, I'm a sinner. I've done bad stuff. I'm asking you, Jesus, to come into my heart. Forgive me for my sins, for all the bad stuff, and make me whole again. And he will just do that for you. He'll step right in. He'll forgive you, and just ask him to be Lord of your life. And he will do that, and he'll bring you hope and joy. So we're grateful. So I hope you stay tuned next Monday for part 2. Thank you guys. Have a great day.